that on this day, the 30th of April, the Colorado Avalanche shall be known as gentlemen for their sweep of the Winnipeg Jets in the way that a gentleman should in a 5-game series where you give them the first game. That is just the gentlemanly way. Let us make this so from now on as we shake hands as gentlemen should. Gentlemen! 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 Let's start the show. Welcome in to the Toyota Lounge, brought to you by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. This is the DNVR Avalanche podcast as the Avs are moving on to round number 2, beating the Winnipeg Jets ultimately 6-3 in Game 5. Feels good to get a series win. Feels good for the Avs.
Freaking love it. That was awesome.
Wasn't easy. Wasn't maybe quite as hard as some of us were expecting in that third period, though. So, let's get into it. Let's start with the 60-second rundown of the game. The Avs score on themselves 2 minutes into this hockey game. Yeah. It was not great. They do get that goal back very quickly, though. They push hard to get that goal back and end up tying the first period 1-1. The second period was a little, sick, look at this. I don't even know what that is.
My long shoulder.
The Avs head into the second period tied. That period was a little bit all over the place. I'm not going to lie to you. The Avs ultimately do win it with some help from Winnipeg Jets. Own goal of their own, even the luck factor, or whatever it is you want to call it on that front. But before you get to that, I don't know. And let me ask you guys, who was better in the second period? Was it the Avs?
No.
No.
Okay. That's what I thought too, despite the Avs winning that period. And then the third period, the Jets tie it early, and then Mikko Rantanen finally shows up in this series and puts it home. The Avs win 6-3.
Well timed, Mikko.
Indeed. When you needed it, there was the moose.
You waited till the 15th period of the series to really get it geared up all the way.
Look, 14-period warm-up is great if he plays that way the rest of the playoffs, all right?
Yeah. Wait for period 16, 17, 18, and beyond.
Briefly, thoughts on the series as a whole for Colorado and Winnipeg. I really don't have a whole lot of complaints. No? Yes? You look like you wanted to get in on something there.
No, it's a weird series when you have the Vezina Trophy winner get shelled.
True.
And your two best forwards. Statistically, the production is all there. But when you actually watch the games, you see how it all plays out. They make plays. They didn't have great games.
Yep.
And you win the series in 5 games. You blow up that guy's spot. Him accepting the Vezina after what just happened is going to be embarrassing now.
8:33 tonight, by the way.
It's going to be embarrassing. So, it's a weird series. It's weird that the Jets were so good defensively all year. And it was always kind of like, I don't understand how they're this good defensively this season. When their defense, it's just an okay group of defensemen. Josh Morrissey's great. But Dylan DeMello and Brendan Dillon, Neil Pionk is bad. Like, it's just not a great group. But all year long, they were so solid. And then they get into this first round against the Avs, and the Avs just ripped them to shreds.
They crater.
Just ripped them to shreds. For my money, Rick Bowness would be unhireable after this series. Because he has not done, again, in my opinion, not done a good job his last 2 jobs in the postseason.
I would agree.
And I think he actively was an active Darvin Ham level detriment to their success in this series. He was brutally bad. His best lineup got iced in Game 5, was its most competitive, and now he gets to spend all summer. He has to go through exit meetings trying to explain, well, these are all the lines that I knew were my best lines numbers-wise, but I knew better. I used my vaunted eye test, and it took me 4 games for my eyes to realize that this wasn't working. They had their most competitive game in this game, and it still wasn't enough, but at least this was a fighting chance in this game.
For 2.5 periods.
Yeah, I mean, you're at 3 minutes into the third period, you're at 3-3 in this hockey game.
It was game on.
Yeah, like it was there, and honestly, it was. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm livid that you have a head coach that it doesn't even feel like you gave him a chance. It does, and there's nothing that you can do about Connor Hellebuyck there.
Yep.
Connor Hellebuyck it did not play well. We've talked about it. It was so weird.
2 years in a row now in the playoffs.
That there were times in this series that we thought Hellebuyck was playing great.
Just couldn't put a whole game together.
And then you get to an end of a game and you're just like, geez, what is this? This is kind of a mess. The numbers are bad. They become the first team ever to give up 5 or more goals in the first five games of the postseason.
Yep.
And you did that after winning the Jennings. You got shredded. Like you want to talk about a team that knows what it's doing versus a team that just couldn't handle the moment. They got swallowed whole by this moment. I don't know how the Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor era ever recovers from this.
I don't think it does, to be honest with you. I think it might be the end for that core in Winnipeg.
I mean, Scheifele just signed a big deal, so
sure. You've got
to try and figure it out there. Hellebuyck, playoffs can be weird. I'm really not making a huge deal out of that career-wise, because if you look at his career, it's pretty good.
I'm just saying
whatever.
He's in Winnipeg to stay. That's
absolutely, yeah. So I just don't know. I don't know how you adjust. I don't know what to do here because the Avs, every single big moment outside of a goalie who had a historically bad game one,
and
every single big moment in the series belonged to Colorado.
Yep. Even the historically bad goalie game ended up being a 1-goal hockey game.
Yeah, it ended with them barely hanging on to a game in which they scored 7 goals on 23 shots, and they scraped by in it. They should have been swept.
Yep. I have to settle for the gentlemen's.
I didn't like the fact that they used the media after last game, to go at each other a little bit, like which your leader.
Bonus.
Yeah, it just kind of.
Niederreiter.
Yeah.
Niederreiter. Oh, I didn't read that one. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't like that. I call me old school. Like, you know what?
School.
Deal with stuff. Thanks, buddy. Deal with shit in the locker room. Deal with stuff together. Deal with stuff on the plane, on the like in the coach's office. You don't need to go public. And I get you have to meet the media and all that stuff. That's awesome. But it's an art to say nothing. You don't need to say anything. You know what I mean? You can just pretend you're saying something and you don't say anything. You don't need that. And then they snip back at them, and it was like that last year too. Like they were snipping at each other, like when the season ended.
Yeah, well, Bonus had the infamous comment where he comes in after, and they ask him, "Well, what happened?" And he had the most resigned look on his face, and he's just like, "We just didn't have any pushback." And that comment haunted them all year, and all year it was like, "We'll show you pushback. We'll show you pushback." Then you got into a postseason series against a grown-ass adult team.
Ain't no pushback.
And there was never a meaningful pushback.
Well,
your best pushback, you still got bullied.
Yep.
But the Avs had pushback. I mean, Rudo and I were talking about the whole series. They had pushback. You know what I mean? It was like, I'll punch you right in the mouth. You punch me, I'll punch you right in the mouth. So It was awesome. It was good. But I think we nailed everything in the pregame. Not to toot our own horns or whatever, but
there's more of that coming.
But you know what I'm saying? We were talking about Mikko. We were talking about cream rises to the top. I mean, those are superstar plays you see in the third period. It just is.
Yeah.
Not a lot of teams have that in the league.
Nope.
They can take over a game with plays. You know what I mean? Just like we say goalies need to make saves. Well, those guys make plays. They make plays and they snap a game backwards or forward in a snap of a finger. I mean, it was sick tonight. But even the first goal, I know it's Tazen, but it's still like the first line. They're. Mm-hmm. It's again, you just got punched in the mouth first minute, and then you're giving up.
Kind of punched yourselves in the mouth.
You know what I mean? Like
but,
exactly. It's just a freaky play. But then you go get it back.
Yep.
Silence the crowd, and those guys can make plays. They're difference makers. Yes, we complain about them all the time because the level is so high. You know what I mean? Because they're capable of this, and when they don't do that, you're like, God, where is it? Where is it? And I'll go back to it. We've been saying it all year. That's how they're built. That's how they're built.
Well, and to get back to my confusion, I know this is a little Jet-centric for me right now, but
we'll get there.
It's kind of the post-mortem here for their season. We now have a handful of days to talk Avs. But you do look at it, and Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon were frustrated, but look at our frustration with those guys and what they were still accomplishing. Kyle Connor has 2 goals in the series. The 7th, I believe it's the 7th goal in game 1, which ended up being the game-winning goal because they couldn't
stop.
They just couldn't get a save from Hellebuck. And the own goal that the Avs scored today gets credited to Kyle Connor.
Because he was the last guy to touch it.
That's your 40-goal scorer. That is your best goal scorer, your number 1 most dynamic offensive weapon. That's his main contribution in the series.
Meanwhile, Val Nichushkin has 7 goals in this series.
Mark Scheifele, I believe he finishes the series with 3 goals.
Yep. And all of them came in the first 2 games.
And the last of them is the 2nd goal in game 2 in the 2nd period.
Yep.
The rest of the series, Mark Scheifele, 0 goals.
Yep.
I think he had an assist or 2 here or there, a couple of assists. Great. Josh Morrissey's the only one of their best players that actually acted like one of their best players. He was their only defenseman that belonged on the ice with the Avalanche. He had 3 goals in the series. He was by far their most dynamic player from the blue line. If we were doing what we've always talked about, if we could, when you beat a team in the postseason, you get to pick one of their players for the rest of the run. I'm taking Josh Morrissey.
Yeah.
He is the best player in the series by a long shot for me.
And to be honest, holy shit, would he be an awesome Av.
He would fit right in, that's for sure. Yeah, I really, look, going into this series, you felt like the Avs were probably better at forward. Well, not probably, were better at forward. Were probably better on the whole at defense, and were probably worse in goal. And you beat them in all 3 categories.
I mean, like big checks.
Yeah. Like not close.
Like emphatic checks.
Yep. That's how a series ends in 5.
Lehkonen and Nichushkin finished with 7 and 5 goals.
Yep. 5 straight games with goals for both.
Scored in every game.
Right.
Yep.
But their total
Nico,
number, they finished
7 and 5, correct.
So they finished
Val's
with
got
12
3,
goals combined.
Yep.
So the Jets had 7, 9, 11, 12, 15 in the series. They had 15 in the series.
Yep.
They barely outscored Nichushkin and Lehkonen in a 5-game series.
Let alone everybody else.
That's a joke. You got embarrassed.
Yep.
You got embarrassed. I picked the Jets in 6. I'm shocked at how one-sided this was for the Avalanche. I know who picked the Avs in 5. Mr. Weird Wizard over here.
He just knows. He just knows.
I don't understand. I don't understand. The stuff that it's weird. It makes me uncomfortable sometimes because I'm afraid he knows something about my future he's not telling me. But
I will.
But it genuinely, I am stunned at how one-sided this ended up.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was an ass-kicking. And this was a great hockey game.
It was
This was a great hockey game. The most competitive without that just disaster of a game 1.
Yep.
Most competitive, true playoff feeling of a hockey
both
game.
teams actually showed up. In
Definitely.
Full, yeah.
And this was a beatdown.
Yeah.
I was.
They went at him hard.
The series, I mean, not tonight. Just the series.
The series was ultimately not close. Like, that's all there is to it. The Avs went in, showed up, did what they needed to do, and got the job done. Now, getting into tonight's game a little bit instead of the series as a whole, how much credit do the Avs get? Mental fortitude. You score an own goal on yourself.
Yeah.
You stay in it. You come back and get that goal back pretty quickly. You head into the second period. You deal with, honestly, a bunch of different stuff, not just in the second period, but Zach Parise goes down, comes back. Cale Makar gets winded in the third period, comes back. You're up 3-2. You feel like you've played a pretty darn good hockey game. The Jets make it 3-3 almost immediately in the third period. And then the Avs go on and their superstars do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the expectation in Colorado, or do the Avs get credit for the perseverance there in an elimination game?
No, that is an absolute S-tier pushback. Not just today, every game.
Yeah.
Every game. There were moments in them where you could talk yourself into, okay, this is a game. Things have gone against the Avs. We talked in game 1. We were like ebbs and flows, guys. Like, this is a long series. Ebbs and flows. You have to see how a team is going to handle it. I talked about after they won game 2, I wanted to know.
Yep.
I wanted to know, how did the Jets respond given what happened to them last year where they won 5-1 at home in game 1, lost 4 straight games to Vegas. How were they going to respond after they lost, after they win game 1 on home ice, lose game 2, lose home ice advantage. I wanted to know the character.
Yep.
And as this series went along, you saw that character get revealed every single game. It showed itself again and again and again. The Avs have it. This is that championship stuff. That is walking the walk. That is a team with swagger and belief on its bench. That is a team that understands how to win playoff hockey. And on the other side, you have a team that was a really good regular season team, and I guess they can always feel good about that. Because the rest of this is the series that could throw that organization into a tailspin.
Yep.
What do you do?
Don't know. Glad I don't have to answer those questions.
What do you do with these guys as your core?
Hey, listen. There's a lot of teams like Toronto, right? Toronto.
Yep. Yes.
Hey, one of those teams won their elimination game, at least for now.
Yeah.
On the road.
Yeah.
Good
Jets
for
couldn't
them.
do it at
without
home.
their leader, right?
Yep.
With no Austin
Matthews.
Matthews. Character.
That's a character win for them. But, to touch on what you were saying there about the Avs, like, it took them learning from their, whatever you want to call that, losses or
the tough years, whatever.
like
Yeah.
God, like it was sad. You know what I mean? Like, God, those are tough ones. You learn from that. And they always talk about the Edmonton Oilers right back then, and you learn to figure things out in losses, and you do. You know what I mean? Like, you can do some about it, or you can say you're going to do something about it. The Avs did some about it.
Yeah.
The last few years, and it goes. And again, we saw a stat earlier on. I'm going to praise Jared Bednar and the staff there. Like, it's so easy to lose your cool. Like, you know what I mean? As a coach, you know what I mean? Like, because there's so many ebbs and flows, and this guy's cool as a cucumber. And I think it shows, and I think the guys respect that. But they know how to win together. The coaches, the players, the management. And it makes a big difference. I mean, he's just cool under pressure. You never hear him say stupid stuff after games, even though I think he talks way too much after games. Again, that's the management of me talking. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome.
It's weird.
It's awesome. I just
Weird for the
I
an
don't
NHL
like
coach.
it.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't like it. But he's so smart. Like, he never says the wrong things. You saw some today. If you're smart about it, if you listen to his presser before the game, he kind of throws the ball at Mikko a little bit. Like, hey, maybe
He's
we
got
can get
another
some
level,
more.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't say it in the condescending way. And then what does Mikko do?
We'll get to that. We'll
Yeah,
get
that's
to
what I'm
that,
saying.
yeah.
But there's a way to do it. He knows how to push his guys, and
So I love this point.
Yeah,
There's a way to
yeah,
do it, and
yeah.
you saw in this series. There's
Yeah.
a way to do it and a way not to.
The-
And the way that to do it
Yeah,
is in the second round,
Yep.
exactly.
and the way not to do it is going to be unemployed.
A lot
That's
of
my
coaches
point.
getting unemployed this year.
But
A
that's
lot of good
my-
coaches already unemployed.
Yeah.
Better
Sorry,
than
go
Rick
ahead.
Bones.
No, but you're right. That's the difference for me. You know what I mean? And I think guys respect that. And then you want to go do it for each other, right? Because you want to make sure that you don't let each other down or disappoint the other guy. It's like parenting or whatever it is, right? So you're all in this together, and it showed tonight. I thought it was awesome, and those guys do a good job, and they never panic. And they're all, even though it is so hard. I mean, you were pooping your pants before the game, right? I mean, it's hard. Like, the emotions are hard.
My adrenaline was really high
Go
at the
go
start
watch
of the game.
the first 5 minutes of the watch long, and AJ's like,
He just
Yeah,
shitting
he's ready to
himself.
go.
it was like my first time seeing The Exorcist.
Yeah.
there was a lot of like
Some back seat checking was going on
Dude.
that
Yeah.
drive home.
It's fun, and it's only the beginning, right? I mean, they know it. It's not like they're having a parade tonight at the hotel. I'm sure they're sleeping there.
that-
They were assuming that the flight was
Friend of the
tomorrow.
show, Evan Rowell, tweeted out a clip of it. There's no celebration as
No.
they're walking back into the locker
Fist
room.
bumps.
Yeah,
Fist bumps, that's it.
that's job done. On to the next one.
It's not like, whoa. It's like, okay, we did what we had to do. Now we move on to the next one.
Yep.
It's all business. And that's how you got to approach it. Doesn't mean it's not fun.
All right,
Sure as hell's
250
fun.
likes, chat. We
Oh,
appreciate
we're gonna have to
y'all.
do a few of these.
Yeah, we would like you to get it to more than that. You guys can get to at least 400, right? I believe.
Dude,
in
you just can't with these
I
shot
know,
glasses.
I just can't do it.
You
I
need
don't know.
you need the tall ones.
All right. To be fair, give me as much as you got, and I won't spill it.
All right. Yeah. I got shortchanged. What's up, Tiff?
Dr. Dubs, Vitamin W right here for you, chat. We appreciate y'all.
I figured by the time Myrtle was done spelling it would be
Belt level. Yeah, not too far off on that.
So well played.
Don't be spilling your drinks in your new official vehicle of DNVR, Toyota. Go get yourself a Toyota. Look, tons of different places you can get one around the Front Range. Tons of different choices, too. 17 different vehicles with all-wheel or four-wheel drive. When you're driving over the Jets, you might need all-wheel or four-wheel drive because it's what the Avs did in this series. Of course, if you like trucks, they've got things like the Tacoma or the Tundra. If you like SUVs, you got your 4Runner, you got your Highlander. If you like sedans, they've got Camry, Corolla, you name it. They've got a car for everybody when it comes to Toyota. And 16 of those vehicles have hybrid or EV technology, including the iForce Hybrid Max truck. So you even got trucks and EV. Go check it out. Go get yourself a Toyota today. You can also, thanks to Toyota, enter for your chance to win playoff tickets to an Avs game, especially now that they're moving on to round 2. You might be able to get some pretty sweet tickets when you get in with that QR code on screen and Toyota. Go to your local Toyota dealership here in the Front Range. There are tons of different ones you can get to, including, but not limited to, what's the first one? AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Go get the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche and the official vehicle of DNVR. And once you got your Toyota all squared away, make sure you're getting over to Bet365 today to get your betting in on whatever it might be. Bet365, when you sign up with $5 in the DNVR 365 code, put that $5 down on anything, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets. But it's not just that with Bet365. We here at DNVR are doing a new 6-week giveaway with Bet365, and you can win prizes that get bigger and bigger each week you participate. Even if you do all 6, you can win a huge prize. Join us to win things like DNVR merch. You could even have a chance to hop on a podcast or go to practice with one of us. So it'd be pretty cool to go see a morning skate with someone like Eric Lacroix or go see a Broncos practice with someone like Todd Davis. Join Bet365 today with the DNVR 365 code. Put $10 into your account, snag a screenshot of that active account with a $10 minimum deposit, and send it to promo@thednvr.com to be eligible to win. You can also head to thednvr.com/bet365 for more information. And of course, if you are gambling with Bet365, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast.
Talking about core guys, there's a way to be, there's a way to do it. Connor Hellebuyck, again, does not talk. The only game he talked after was game 1.
The one that he won, yeah.
I don't know about this guy.
Also,
All I'm going to say, you can say whatever you want about Alexander Georgiev.
Always faces the media.
Spoke after
Yep.
game 1.
He talked.
Gave up
Every
7
game.
goals.
He talked.
And owned that. He wore that.
Yeah.
Listen to people like us say he should never play for the Avalanche again.
came back and won 4
And
straight.
came back and stuffed that all down our throat.
Yep.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Also,
Connor Hellebuyck, where's that at? Where's that guy? Where's the FU out of that guy?
well,
That's what I'm saying. You can, I always say you have to have the right guys,
dude.
And because again, I'll use that stupid line again. You can say you're about winning,
Yeah.
or you can be about
Talk
winning.
about it or be
There's
about
a
it, man.
Big difference. They have the right guys here.
so officially, Connor Hellebuyck finishes the series with an .870 save percentage. I will, from now on, be referring to him as Connor Hella 87 cents. 87 cents on the dollar from that guy.
Our old friend Brandon Watson had my favorite tweet of the night when
I
he
didn't
said,
see it.
"You can't spell Vesna without the Roman numeral for 5."
That's pretty good.
And I was like, "Oh, that's we're gonna keep that in the bookmark for the night that he wins that thing."
Yeesh. That's a good one.
It's a great one.
I'm here for it.
I mean, I saw another one. Somebody said Neil Pionk with more playoff goals for the Avalanche than Matt Duchene.
Neil Pionk should be thanking whoever got the Jets' third goal there. It was Morrissey, right? No,
Yes.
Morrissey was the second one. I forget. Doesn't matter. Either way, this close to an own goal being the series clinching goal for Neil Pionk. He got a little bit lucky there.
Mikko Rantanen had 9 points this series.
And he was good in one game.
Whatever.
It's crazy, isn't
I
it?
want to be Mikko Rantanen.
Let's get into our 3 stars of the game, and we'll be giving out a lot more flowers beyond just these 3. Yeah. But for tonight, you kick it off with your 3rd star and a depth guy in Yakov Trenin. Has really been great this whole series, even if it hasn't showed up on the score sheet.
Yeah.
Tonight, the big goal comes through for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great goal. It's a hard-working goal. You watch him, it's work.
Yep.
There's nothing crazy about that. There's no big burst of skill. It's just work.
Yep.
He outworks a guy. He gets his shot is stopped. He outworks a guy for the rebound and pops back out in front. Beats Hellebuck on a goal I know we ended up not liking. You really didn't like it and talked me into it.
There's no effort.
But you look at Yakov Trenin. Does exactly what you want out of a 4th-line guy. The Avs were not great for a lot of this game.
Most of the second period, honestly.
I mean, the last half of the first period and most of I'll just say the second period, not great overall. And your best line was led by Yakov Trenin.
Yep.
Yakov Trenin doesn't get an assist on it, but he also chips it up to Cogliano, who got it over to Cale Makar on that 2-on-1. Makar hits the post. You're that close. I mean, it was just that, like, it was a 4th line where you were like, oh my, do you remember last year's 4th line was unplayable?
Yep.
It was unplayable.
It also had a defenseman on it at times.
I mean, Brad Hunt played 36 seconds for you as a 4th-line forward in Game 7.
Yeah.
Game 7. The difference, and I don't think that it was like an amazing series for the line. No. I don't think Yakov Trenin was incredible.
But they did their job.
They were fine. And then in this game, when they needed it the most, that 4th line got them through parts of this game. They were willing to grind it out. They put together strong shifts. They were able to keep Winnipeg from just completely peppering them. A great game, especially out of Yakov Trenin. Great goal. It's the goods.
I'll add that to Trenton, and I told you guys before, but go back to Val when he was just breaking out on the scene here in Colorado. You know, after going 100 games without a goal, which was absurd, right, with Dallas. And I remember, like, it was so divided here with the Avs and, you know, signing Nichushkin. And even I said, what are they doing, you know? But Val had an unbelievable breakout year here, his first year in Colorado. And people were like, what the hell's going on? And I remember we had meetings, and the guy I found in the minors, when I say I ran across watching games, was Yakov Trenin. And I used to call him in my reports, there's my poor man Nichushkin. You know what I mean? Like, somewhere, somehow, he's kind of gone into that. And then there's a lot of similarities in their game with, you know, they skate, they hunt, they're big. I think there's a lot more to Trenin's game than obviously he's been asked to do. I think there will be more in the future. And again, I ate my words with Val going 0 for 100. You know, I was like, how the hell can this guy's not? I mean, he's a 40-goal scorer. The guy went 100 games without a goal. Like, it's like, what? So, hats off to Trenin. He's been awesome. And you can't really ask much more out of that guy. And it was a great pickup, especially now with the loss of, right?
That's
LLC
what I want to talk about. Does that, once again, does Chris McFarland not look like the smartest guy in the room?
Absolutely. That was a great move. Remember that day? And it was like within Duhaime and him. And we're like, oh my God, they know something that we don't know.
We were excited. We were driving to the bar. We were going to talk about it. We were all coming into the studio. And then as we were driving, I remember getting that text from you in all caps.
Yeah.
Mr. Excitable over there. And it had adult language in it. And I was just like, it had nothing else. I had no idea what you were talking about.
Let's go.
And then I saw the thing pop up and I was like, this is legit. This is legit.
Sick.
We were a big fan of that.
Yeah. It's paying off. Again, it's 1 round out of 4. That's how they're taking it.
You will take that 4th line in Trenin's play in every single round from here on. If you told me this is what you're going to get, I wouldn't even think.
You got to win the first round to win the second round, you know?
Exactly. No, I'm saying that's how they're taking it. They
that's
don't,
this work.
Again, that's when you've been there, you know.
Number 2 on the list. And,
Dose.
you know, we're going to get into...
It's pretty easy for me. I thought Nathan McKinnon in this one. I thought there were a lot of there were some guys I liked in this game.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into them, too.
But with Nathan McKinnon, I thought this was a third period that the imprint was there.
Superstar shit.
Yeah, he's flying up and down the ice. He's creating. He ends up with 2 assists. He has 7 shots on goal. He gets robbed by Hellebuck right in front of the net.
Yep.
Could have been a goal. I mean, it was... I thought this was, especially the third period. We're going to talk about this with Mikko too. But
Oh, yeah.
I thought the third period, this was they can't contain it anymore. This guy is busting out. It's breakout time, and he had what, like, he averaged like 2 points a game in this series.
Ended
it's
up
ridiculous.
with 9 points in the series,
Yeah,
I think.
like you're. It's just so
Was that leading the league now?
You guys.
tied with Mikko. These 2 guys, dude. It was just with McKinnon. It was. It's 3-2 going in. It's 3-3. They need it, right? They need it.
Yep.
They've gotten everything you could possibly ask for from everyone else on this roster, up and down the lineup. Your defense has scored. Georgiev has stepped up in a huge way. Nichushkin and Lehkonen are damn near outscoring the Jets alone. Like
You just
gotten
need
it.
something.
You've gotten it from everywhere. Trending gives you a goal in this game. Miles Wood has 2 goals in this series. Ross Colton has 3 points. Like, you have gotten it from everywhere. You need that one knockout punch, and you want your best guy to do it, and Nathan McKinnon helps drive that bus. It's McKinnon and Mikko together, but that's why there's 1 and 2 stars.
To your point on the knockout punch, though, right? It's Mikko's tip-in goal that gets you to 4-3.
Yeah,
Jets are reeling. Who is it coming down that right side to get the insurance goal? It's Nathan McKinnon that makes the great pass across to Mikko, and that's the reason you have an insurance goal, and that effectively ended the series.
Now, if you add that, and if you watch pregame, again, it's not to toot our own horns. I'm saying we talked about key number 2, neutral zone. I thought the Jets did a pretty good job today against McKinnon. You didn't see that burst of speed a lot, but then that one time that deep pinches in, like, oh shit, like, oh god, wrong guy, right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
He chips it, goes. The screen is like you stand up because you're watching on screen like, oh my god, he's bursting out of a freaking zone there, and then key number 3, the cream rises to the top, and the Winnipeg Jets don't have Mikko Rantanen. I'm sorry. Like, those guys are not close to great Kyle Connor and those guys. Mikko Rantanen is a class of his own. Nathan McKinnon's in a class of its own. Kel McCarr's in a class of its own. So, cream rises to the top. What do? They take over the third period, and they make the big plays. And they make the big plays like somebody just dropped a big glass. You know what I mean? So, but... it was awesome. It was great to see, and that's what superstars do. They rise to the occasion.
And speaking of superstars, number 1, Mikko Rantanen, ends up being a 3-point night for him. He also assists on the Avs' first goal of the game, by the way.
Sick play.
a great play by him.
Yeah, a nasty pass. And then when the Avs need it the most, the game winner and the insurance goal come off of his stick.
And I like the different ways.
Yep.
You have the tip, and then you have the 2-on-1 finish. And I just want to say, go and look at Connor Hellebuck on that 2-on-1. That puck goes in, and you're like, I don't think he was 100% on that.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of just like, this puck is going in.
I'm dead. Yeah.
And his reaction afterward was just like, this is it. I'm done, man.
Yep. Agree.
Again, you can be about winning, or you can say you're about winning. Big difference.
Yep.
It's the reason these guys are the superstars is
Sick.
because that when it comes down to it, that's what they do.
And that's how they're built.
Yep.
We have to keep saying it. That's how they're built.
Yep.
But right now, they're getting the extra stuff, too, from everybody. Like, you know, AJ just said. They're getting the depth, and they're getting the, you know.
He scored 5 goals a game in the series.
It's outrageous.
It's outrageous.
Jesus.
Again, Mikko, McKinnon, they're the superstars. They're at the top of that list. But let's not forget about the rest of that top 6.
Yeah.
Nichushkin scored
Yeah.
7 goals in this series.
Yeah.
7, including one in this game.
Yeah.
Middlestat was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole series.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
Lucky, got a little bit lucky tonight. Also got a little bit unlucky tonight.
Hey,
So,
when you're hot, man. It just goes in.
puck's going off of him into nets. Not
Yep.
sure which net, but into
Yeah.
nets.
Going into both. You're just kind of like, all right, whatever.
Honorable start of Neil Pionk.
Yeah. I mean, he got torched tonight.
Yep.
Not even considering the own goal, torched.
He was getting owned regardless. Yeah.
So, yeah. Tiff, do we have the pregame?
Oh, do you have something here?
You could see this one coming with Mikko, I think. I'm going Mikko for different reasons, but I'm going Mikko Rantanen again. It's just time.
Yep.
And I think he's the kind of guy that hears his coach say, yeah, he can get to another level. That's about as shady as it gets from Jared Bednar. Not a guy that throws his players under the bus, but he'll give them an honest, hey, yeah.
More in the tank there, bud. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think I'm buying it. I'm buying stock. I'm sorry. But I've got Mikko Rantanen. I want to see a Mikko Rantanen game. I want 2 goals and an assist.
Good call, buddy.
Yeah.
Been hanging out with this weird-ass wizard over here. It rubbed off on me.
You hang out with a lot of wizards.
Well,
Between him and the
Roster
Rizzler, yeah.
I don't know what to say. I don't have a comeback.
That's just normal life for you.
Yeah, it just, the company you keep says a lot about who you are.
I do want to go through a handful of other things in this game. A tough one for Nikolai Kovalenko in that third period. Clearly lost in the systems, and it's the reason the Jets were able to tie the game.
Yeah, that was tough.
Look, I don't know if that means Kiviranta comes back into the series or Kovalenko stays in, but either way, you have 6 days to...
Hold on, Kitty's sick.
Well, it's an LBI.
Yeah,
It's an
LBI.
I thought it was sick.
Either way, you either have 6 days to work video with Kovalenko and get him more up to speed with the systems, or you get a Kiviranta back.
I don't think he's a dumb player. And I said it about Middlestad the other day. This game is so fast and so based on reactions. And when you're starting to think up there, you're screwed. You know what I mean? Because you can't think and play. You got to go and play and just trust your instincts, which your instincts are based on what you've been looking with the, Ray Bennett or whatever on the systems, and it has to come naturally. And then you go out there and you can see a little bit he collides with Ross Colton. I think Ross was pissed a little bit there. He slams his stick. I mean, I think he's pissed. The puck's in the net, but he's pissed. I think he's pissed because it's like...
Well, Colton is the guy coming across trying to cover for him, and
That's
they
what I'm saying.
run into each other.
So you can tell, Andre, that I was going to say Nikolai. No.
His dad is Andre.
I'm sorry. I had it upside down. Andre's son, Nikolai. You can see he thinks there. You can see he stands up a little bit, and then he's not sure, where do I go again?
Yeah.
And then that moment right there.
That's enough.
Right there. It's just enough to have that little. And then, I don't remember, was it Connor that throws the back? I know it was Ehlers. Nice pass by Ehlers. It's a nice play by Ehlers, That's an elite play there. But
Took him 5 games.
yeah, I know. But that was an elite play. And then, Nikolai, I don't think he played another shift after that, did he? But whatever.
He didn't play much.
But it's okay. He's fared fine. Listen, it's tough to come in like this in playoff situations. And you know what? It's all good. I'd rather see that than, again, I'm not here to bash on a guy, but a Dennis Mulligan in that spot or, from last year. You know what I mean? He'll be fine. I still have trust in him. If he needs to be called upon because Kivi's not ready or whatever it is. And again, I can't believe I'm saying that about Kiviranta because he's my pet peeve all year. You know what I mean? But he's been great in the playoffs. Yeah. So, again, legends are born in the playoffs, and it's all good.
That's where Kiviranta's whole NHL thing
That's true.
even exists.
I will say that third line in general is the one that I'm not sure what to make of, because I think through a period and a half, you felt pretty good about it in this game. They came out in the first period and looked much better than they did in Game 4. But then you have that play in the third period from Kovalenko, and it's ultimately a silly penalty from Miles Wood that makes the game 2-2 in the second period.
Yeah, that was weird, but not having Kiviranta on that line stalled what was significant momentum through the first 3 games.
Yeah, agree.
So, and right now you're looking at the rest of your lineup going, well, I don't have an obvious.
You're right.
Your fourth line just kicked ass all game
Why
long.
would you mess with it? Yeah.
So you're not in a huge hurry to change any of that. The Middlestat line was your best line
Yep.
from game 2 through 5
Yep.
when they got put together. And your top line is your top line. You're just not touching that.
Yep.
So what do you do? So you don't really have a lot of flexibility there unless you want to start picking from other areas. So you might just need to kind of ride it out with Kovalenko and just say, hey, just
Trying to throw Chris Wagner in there. Maybe.
Right, like,
I don't know, but
if you're
I
doing,
wouldn't mess with it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just. We talked about coming into this.
Yep.
I proposed the solution of you put Chris Wagner as your 4C and Trennan as your third right wing next to those guys.
Yep.
If that's ultimately what they end up doing, I get it.
Totally.
I get it.
No complaints.
Yeah, you don't want to remove the effectiveness of that fourth line, but
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't have your Ross Colton line be that ineffective.
Yeah.
But, Kovalenko has absolutely nothing to do with Miles Wood just taking a dumb penalty.
That's very true.
So, Miles Wood, awesome games 1 through 3. Games 4 and 5, bad.
And, we kind of knew that script on Miles Wood.
Yeah.
That's who he was when the Avs got him.
That's why he's a third line guy, not a real top 6 kind of guy that pushes for it.
Yep. I want to talk about the defense a little bit as a whole on the series, and I have some numbers here. Avs' best possession defenseman at 5-on-5, Josh Manson, 57%.
Yeah, I don't care about that tonight because he was shitty.
And that's the conversation I wanted to have. Essentially scores an own goal off of Lehkonen. He ends up picking up an empty net goal, and I think he gets another assist as well.
Problem created by him in the first place.
But, right, and it's a fine line with Josh, because at times he's running around in games and you're like, wow, Josh Manson is everywhere. Look at all the stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
And then at times in games, it's like, wow, Josh Manson is running around checking himself into the boards. What the hell is he doing?
yeah.
So,
Tonight was definitely a what is he doing, and I think he finishes with 2 points because
Yep.
he has an assist on the
the
trending
empty
goal,
netter,
and he
yep.
has the empty net goal at the end.
Yep.
Whatever.
Whiskey.
Second best possession defenseman for the Avs in this
He
series.
makes me need to drink whiskey sometimes when he has games like this, man.
Second best Avs possession defenseman, Sean Walker, 56.7%.
This guy works like a dog. He's a worker, man.
I think there have been times where it's felt a little bit squirrely with him, but boy, does he fit the Avs system.
I really didn't like the penalty on him. I'm the call.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. The hook,
I
yeah.
thought the call was just.
A little silly.
I think it looks. I don't know.
You're really talking about like a game where they really let the two teams battle it out, and
Yeah.
I mean they don't call any kind of interference on Gabe Velarde for just trucking Cale Makar.
Yep.
With nobody or anything around him, it's not a big deal. Smokes him, and they were like, "Yeah, it's all good." And that was a penalty in the same game. Those not in that sequence. One came after the other, but I just didn't like that call, and to me it's annoying because I thought Walker was pretty good, and I hate having those pockmarks on a guy's game where you're like, no, but
Fourth, Devontae is 54.5%. Fifth, Sam Girard, 53.8%.
he was really bad tonight.
He was not good. I agree. But the Avs get away with it because they have a whole D-core. Sixth, Jack Johnson, right around 50%. And the Avs' worst possession defenseman by Corsi, Cale Makar.
Yeah.
And they just won a series 4-1.
Yeah, and Cale Makar delivered ultimately what I thought was the knockout punch of the
Yep.
series with the 3-1 goal in Game 4.
Yep.
9 points.
An all-world level play.
Yep.
And yeah, by the way, also has 9 points in the series.
It's like a shitty 90-point season.
It's impressive to look at that and go say,
Sick.
yeah, the Avs were really good in this series, but I don't know that they played their best.
Oh, no. They can play better. They're sick. They're a great team. They're a great team.
Something to think about.
There's
Confidence
another
wise.
level.
Put it to you that
I
way.
don't know that there is, but
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a level of play inconsistency
Yeah.
in terms of how they play, but the production will not.
Well-
I mean, it
well,
just
No, there's another level.
you know.
Like, I do believe the top end guys have another level.
Yeah.
Even though they got 9 points.
right when some of these
But no,
guys,
the other
some of these
parts-
guys will fall off a
the
little bit
sum of all
offensively,
parts.
and
Yes,
those guys
yeah,
might add,
yeah.
you add 2 more points to those guys.
But
Yeah.
this is why you should be confident. Not that the Avs are going to score 12 goals a game in the second round, but when the inevitable fall-off of the depth production does happen,
Yeah.
you can still believe in this team to have other options available.
Yeah.
So
Well, and ultimately, didn't have a great game tonight, but Casey Middlestat as a breakout
point.
guy for you, and he gets a point on an empty net goal.
Well, he also gets a point
5-3
taken
game.
away on the Neil Pionk goal. So whatever.
For the record, I know everybody was mad about the McKinnon not getting a point on the own goal in that one home game earlier this year. You see how both of the own goals had no assists? This is how they call it. This is how they score those plays.
Hey, look, on the Josh Manson one, there's no way you could talk me into anyone getting points for that one. But
Did we get some?
no, there were none. Anyway, chat, you can look. We're gonna do these, but get that likes up to 400. Okay,
Yeah.
Come on, get with it. There's like 1,200 of you in here. You can do better.
Come on.
Cheers. Some more Dr. Dub's prescribed vitamin W right here for you. And on that note, we are brought to you by the fantastic people right in that bucket right there. Coors Light, when you need a beer to chill. All right, look, elimination games are intense. That stuff's legit. That's real. When you're done with one, when you're celebrating at the end of the round, going on to round two, grab a Coors Light. The beer literally made to chill. You can go get some at your local liquor store, or you can stay at home. Don't even have to get off the couch. Go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR, and Instacart can deliver right to your front door. So go get some. It's the beer I reach for when I need to chill. Go grab a Blue Mountain Coors Light today. Of course, brewed right here in Golden, Colorado by Coors Brewing Company. Please party responsibly when you do drink Coors Light. Once you've chilled out with Coors Light a little bit, make sure you're chilling about your home, all right? Storms happen. We just watched an avalanche destroy a jet. I sure hope they had that thing insured.
It was a Boeing Max.
Oof, tough one. The doors did get blown off, so it's true.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Go to Red Hawk Roofing to make sure your roof doesn't get caved in the way the Jets did. Red Hawk offers free consultations, so you might as well get them out there. Let them have a look at your roof. They'll take pictures. They'll show you everything that's going on up there. No pressure. If everything's good, awesome. You don't have to worry about your roof. If there are problems, they'll let you know, and they can get everything all fixed up for you. They're also available 24/7, so if something bad does happen, storm happens, whatever, they can come out and get it all patched up for you in an emergency, too. Head on over to redhawkroofing.com, a Colorado local company just like us here at DNVR. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Look, I know we talked about some of the ups, downs, negatives there. I want to reiterate, the Avs were great in this series outside of one game. And even that series, a lot of the skaters were pretty good.
I thought they played really well for a lot of game one. The breakdowns that you go back and you look at and you're like, yeah, these are bad, but
Josh Manson struggled in that game. I think that's fair to say.
yeah.
Everybody else, not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, you
Sure won the game.
got to get saves, bro.
I know. And they did for the rest of the series.
The rest of the
That's right.
series. I mean, that's what it is. He topped out at 3
Yep.
one time.
And honestly, he gave up 3 tonight, and I think this was probably his best game of the series.
Yeah, one of those is an own goal.
Yeah, right.
Like he gives up 2.
Yep. And made some really big saves when
Yep.
this was a close game. So,
Absolutely.
all the credit in the world to Georgiev on that one.
Yep.
I don't know. I think I'm just ready to enjoy this one. Are there other things you guys want to touch on, or should we get to super chats and other stuff too? Because I know there's.
I want to add one more thing, and
Yeah,
we
go for
talked
it.
about it before the game. Is I do believe you're going to make a cup run. You always want at least one short series, and I think tonight they did the job. It might benefit them down the road. There again, I'm thinking way further
Sure as hell
down.
won't hurt him.
Yep.
It can't hurt. I hate when you have to go play extra games because you weren't sharp
Look,
and you just gave the game away.
Look at
Boston.
how many times in this game we're going, oh no, is Parise hurt? Oh no, is Colton
but
hurt?
the-
Oh no, is
and then
McCarr hurt?
McCarr,
Like,
yeah, that's short series in the long run are so important. Now they're going to have 5-6 days. You know what? Great weather. They can go play golf, get away from the rink, let the coaches do their work. They're going to go and, obviously start nitpicking one of those two teams. Let the other two teams beat the shit out of each other, right? Let it go 7.
That's what we were talking about the other
Yes.
day is
It makes a difference.
just keep hitting each other for a few more games.
It just makes a difference. And then you can worry about the next opponent. You can prepare yourself. And then you can heal. You can be mentally sharp. Those things are grueling. It's hard. It's a lot of pressure, because you're so tight like you were before the game, right? But those guys are too. They just release it in a different manner because you can actually get out there and run into someone or make a play, or you know what I mean. So it's easier. It's easier to play, but it's still draining. It's still flying to Winnipeg here twice in the last 5-6 days. It's still. It's
definitely
grueling.
like that Dallas or Vegas is the next flight that you're going to be doing for this next series.
A little bit of an easier
Nice.
one. Yeah.
Easier one, so I don't know. I'm just saying, again, a time zone one way or the other, but which I hate time zones, but I don't know. I think short series are key. I think it benefited the Rangers yesterday, the Panthers, obviously the Avs tonight. Boston missed an opportunity. Last year they did same way.
Yep.
Same way, up 3-1, didn't score that goal in overtime. We know what the rest was, so I don't know what's going to happen to Boston, but now you're giving the other team hope. Carolina, boom, nail in the coffin tonight. Short series.
Yep.
So short series are very important, and it's all about the what ifs, right? What if we would have played one more game? We could have got someone injured. What if, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Or your goalie has a bad game, then he's shooken up. You know what I mean? There's no reason to play those extra games. You know what I mean? So kudos to the Avs. That was a big win tonight for that aspect of short series.
Amen. The
Yeah.
Avs did a lot of things right in this series.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat have been asking about Jonathan Drouin. Just don't plan for round 2.
Well, I was just reading something here, just so you guys know.
Yeah, I
like,
just saw it.
You saw?
Yeah.
French guy. I mean, François Gagnon, like, if François, Montreal Canadiens reporter,
Yeah.
obviously, I would assume got it probably from Jonathan himself. You know what I mean? So I think he's covering the series for the Montreal paper. I do believe he's covering this series. Maybe I'm talking out of my butt, but I follow François. So I've always read over the years. I get up in the morning. I still put the Montreal paper and I read the stuff. He is RDS, obviously, but I read RDS in the Montreal paper. But apparently it's a skate cut. I don't know how you got a skate cut on that.
That's
play.
the part that kills me. I don't know how that
makes
happened.
no sense how a cut would happen.
Maybe
there, but
it was before, and then then you realize it. Then you're like skating, and you're like, "What the hell's going on?" But I don't see it on that play. But
Yeah.
and they're saying
late
second round, third round,
second
so yeah.
round at the earliest is
Yeah.
what they said. So
So just don't plan for it.
Right.
It would really, obviously those timelines, it would really help if now the Avs are done. If Vegas and Dallas seriously went 7,
yeah,
stretch it out as long as possible.
you end up getting that game one on like a Thursday or something.
Yeah, I mean, you get game 1 hopefully on Monday of next week.
if they go 7, you'll be later than Monday.
Oh, because Wednesday, Friday.
That would be game 6 on Friday. It would be the Sunday game.
Oh, you're
7.
right. You're right. So if
Yeah,
it does go
Probably Tuesday.
So Tuesday at the earliest,
Yeah.
you're talking. So yeah, every day is going to be important for that.
Yep.
It's huge.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a sick play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just wrong.
Just
Yeah,
really bad pinch by Josh Morrissey.
there.
That was.
Oh God,
and
this
then
guy.
you're
like-
you're
Yeah.
torched on that play. every
Dylan
time.
DeMello's just like, come on.
Yeah.
It's the wrong two guys to defend.
Yep,
It's not
exactly.
like no offense, do aim to Cogs. It's Mikko and Mac.
Which one would you rather take there? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you only had 90 goals coming at you down the ice on a 2-on-1.
That's all. Just a few goals.
That like big moments.
They chew them up, man. They're off and running
That's
again
what
in
they live
another
for.
postseason.
Yep, it's what they live for. Their absurd points per game rates in the playoffs just went up.
Right.
Like, it's actually silly. Okay, let's get into some of these super chats here, and then hopefully we can have a couple of pressers for you as well. $2 from DJ, who says, Nickelbuck no play round 2. Is tarps off real? Not for this one.
It was a conspiracy all along.
Yep, it was all fake.
We deep faked a shirtless Rudo.
Facts. It happened. Thank you very much. $20 from Greg that says, that makes 4 of 16 with a top hat and a monocle sweep. Let's effing go. Amen to that. 100 pesos from Antonio Roji. Here, 100 more Mexican dollars, like $6 US. Now go say my name complete, not just Antonio part. I want to hear it all. Do it. I did it.
Oh, okay.
$20 from Mike, who says, places Avs in 6 on the customer service desk. Hello, I'd like to exchange this for an Avs in 5, please. Yes, sir.
Love it.
My poor roommate's never going to get his happy handshakes in Ball Arena.
Right.
You just can't get
cursed.
him, man.
€5 from Marcus. I think those are euros. They might be pounds. Love from London. Oh, they really might be pounds. England. Best fam in sports. P.S. About 35,000 bees in a colony. That's a lot of bees.
Oh.
That's a lot of bees, man.
Okay, so yeah, cancel that game. Jesus.
$5 from Saki Sam, who says Bednar deserves the Jack Adams for turning this team around, and from end of season asking and paste. Hell, I don't know. You kind of lost me there. Anyway, Hellebuck and Company got owned. That's what I'm going to say you meant. Go Avs.
Word.
Heard.
$10 from Steven, who says Hellebuck more like hella butt. Hello from Connecticut.
Ooh, we're in Connecticut.
There you go. I bet AJ was near there at one point.
Let's go get Frank Pepe's.
Frank Pepe's.
I did
40
get a message. I did get a message today saying that your Pizza Hut bit is cute, but if the Avs win the cup, they have to go to Frank Pepe's,
Well,
not
yeah,
Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Pizza Hut is just because it's Domino's. It's a household name.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
Big $40 from Ryan, who says lots stars to pick from, but only one had a job to do. Way to go, Georgiev. The whiteout was a wipeout.
I love that they ruined the block party at home. I love it.
$5 from the Schick, who says favorite part of tonight was finding out my father-in-law was watching and kept coming to me asking about goals and penalties. He's never been a hockey fan. Let's go. That's what playoff series wins do. You bring in all the new gang.
Dude, big umbrella.
Welcome to the playoffs. Welcome to Avs land.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the worst mistake you've ever made.
Not wrong,
Yeah,
but you know, sometimes it's pretty cool.
Just emotionally crippling for hours at a time.
$6.20 from Awesome-esque, who says, Arturi Leka, him, just knows how to play in the playoffs. Good stick, clutch, Gene.
Yeah, everybody tweet D-Line and just say good stick, Lecky.
Oh, please, everyone go tweet D-Line that.
Please tweet at D-Line and say just good stick, Lecky.
$5 from the Walrus, who says Georgiev yanked his head out of his bunghole, washed the poopies off, and finished smelling nice. Huge props, Rudo boobs, tarps off, trusting farts.
Pretty soon these are just going to be all hashtags.
Who was, except the guy that tweeted at us.
I mean, that was
like game 2 or whatever it was.
yeah, that was a memorable.
That one's an all-timer.
That was awesome.
$2 more from the Schick. Obligatory vibes. Dad. I wasn't on camera, but okay, you got it. You caught it. You're good.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
$2 from Rusco, who says, hella $5 time to catch that tea time. Round 2.
Oh, yeah.
$10 from Towering Flesh, who says it was never in question,
name.
despite what the Doomers said. Bring on the VGK or Dallas. Avs win in 6 either way. Love y'all at DNVR. Thanks for all you do. And LFG boys, 4 down, 12 to go.
4 more to go. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, one game coming up.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'm looking. That's not true. We're going to do a whole series preview, but
True.
it's fine. $5 more from the Walrus, who says, hope Druin returns for round 2. I waited all year for his moment in the playoffs, and my preseason hot take was 60 points from him. Didn't quite get there, but just about got there. $10 from Owen, who says, if the Avs win the cup, are we retiring Duhaime's jersey? I
Why?
assume that's a meme,
Yeah.
because no, if it's a serious question.
Parises, however.
Also, no. And also, the Bork retirement was dumb.
We can retire Parise's jersey in Minnesota. In the XL Center.
An Avs retirement banner in XL, that would be all time.
Yep.
That'd be pretty funny.
It's not just a jersey. On the front of the jersey, it's him raising the cup as an Av.
Hell yeah. $5 from Justin, who says, how different is this series if Georgiev doesn't stop Toffoli on that breakaway in Game 3? What a redemption arc for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Yep. We don't have to know. That's the best part. $2 from Pete, who says, tonight we jack off for Yakov.
God
what
damn
a
it.
beast.
God damn it, Discord.
The best name in hockey.
$10 more from Towering Flesh, who says, one more thing. Where are all those overconfident shit-talking Peg fans now? Oh, silly me. They're on the golf course tomorrow. Hope they're better with a club and ball than with stick and puck. Go Avs.
Yeah, you notice we did not see that one particular...
Yeah, that dude bailed real quick.
The one who kept talking about how the Jets were the Avs kryptonite. The Jets were the Avs kryptonite. You know, he can at least go to bed tonight knowing that the season series ended 4-4.
And again, we'll say it again. Never look at regular season freaking games within.
We're going to have all week to do shows.
I know.
Head to head doesn't matter, dude.
God, stop with those things, people. You're killing me. It's a different season.
I knew we picked the right guy for the show.
Yeah.
$2 from Wilson saying the only place the Jets are flying is to Cancun.
The flights to Cancun from Winnipeg are kind of messy.
Yeah, that's got to be rough. Yeah. $2 more from the Walrus saying, can we re-sign Eric for the 24-25 podcast season?
I don't know. Can we?
I'm in, man. Who says I'm leaving? Somebody know something I don't know?
That's what Druid is saying around the Avs locker room. Who says I'm going anywhere, guys?
Well, those 58 points you had might.
Yeah. $4 million somebody's going to give
well,
next year.
you know. $5 from James, who says Pionk passes Matt Duchene on the franchise playoff goals leaderboard and is now 111th all time. Neil Pionk.
Oh, no, I read that. I was dying.
Yeah.
Duchene, yeah, that's funny.
I wish it actually counted like that because it would be amazing.
Not the first big goal scored by a Jet for the Avs.
True.
The other one was in the regular season, so who cares about Nikolai Ehlers? But
such a memorable own goal. And then asking him about it, he's like, I shot it into my own net.
What do you want me to say? $10.
The real ones remember that one.
$10 from Acid Jockey, who says, great win, on to the next series, bottoms up with Dr. Dubs. Let's go. $5 from Cade. Hellebuck is hella cooked. Vegas can circumvent these nuts. If they make round 2, Avs are testing out Stone's spleen. Superchats are off the damn rails.
I was going to say, we can't even blame us for this.
$2 more from Greg, who says, time for a new landmark, AJ.
What does that mean?
So when the Avs won the Cup in 22, the joke was that I was collecting landmarks from every city that the Avs beat. So I had a nice collection. Most famously, the St. Louis Arch. It's still in my backyard. The one that's in St. Louis right now is inflatable. I did them a solid. That's their whole identity.
What's a Winnipeg landmark?
Yeah, this is why I wanted the Squirtle sacks, is because they don't really have a landmark, and I'm not going to take the museum, the Human Rights Museum.
Yep.
There's like a great landmark there.
Also,
so.
be kind of effed up to take the Human Rights Museum.
But yeah. All right. You're right. You're right. We're on the pod. I can't do that.
Hey, look, it's the Saxa Squirtle.
Hell yeah, it is.
If you like things like Squirtle sacks, you might like Illegal Pete's. What? I said sacks.
Yeah, I got it. I just
It's still sacks. It's still very much sacks.
keep going.
I imagine people who smoke a lot of weed would find that amusing. And people who smoke a lot of weed will find Illegal Pete's delicious.
This is true.
So, math adds up. Also, if you're not high, Illegal Pete's is still delicious. Go get their burritos, queso to die for. They even have happy hour from 3 to 8 p.m. if you want to get your drink on. There's one location just a couple blocks from the bar, a great place to pregame if you're coming down to watch a round 2 Avalanche game at the bar. And there's a new location also just opened up in Colorado Springs. So 14 different locations now to get to as AJ is having a breakdown over there. Go get yourself some delicious Illegal Pete's today. And then make sure it is the springtime now. The weather's getting nice. Go check out Infinity Park in Glendale and the American Raptors. Some of the best rugby in the country gets played in Infinity Park right now. You can go down there, just have a great day out on the town. It's an awesome place to go hang out with kids. And otherwise, if you want to go check out a Raptors game, tickets are just $10 for adults, and kids 12 and under get in free. Raptors are pretty cool rugby team that takes a bunch of athletes from other sports and puts them into a rugby team and teaches them how to play a different sport where they can go pro in it. Go check them out, AmericanRaptors.com. Go check out Infinity Park. They have a bunch of cool stuff like an arcade too. So it's not just the sports. Check out the DNVR Rugby Pod too. Our guy Colton Strickler does amazing work there. Okay, we do have the audio, well, not audio, full video of the Mikko Rantanen, Nathan MacKinnon presser for you guys here, so you can listen to the superstars tell it how it is.
Okay, we'll take questions from Nathan and Mikko. Go ahead, start off, Corey.
I guess just for Mikko, with you seem like you were pretty frustrated early in the game, snapped the stick in half. Just, I guess, how much did the first one get you going, and your thoughts on the series?
Yeah, well, puck wasn't really bouncing at times to our way, but so that's what happens. Sometimes you get frustrated. Obviously, try to avoid doing that. Overall, series was really good for us. I think we got better after every game. We kind of looked at things we could do better, and I think we ramped it up after each game. So really happy with the performance, and we keep moving now from here.
John.
Nathan, your coach talked before the game about the scar tissue this team has built up over the years, so past disappointments. And the Jets just finished talking about your ability to elevate and battle the way you did in this series. I wonder what you could reveal or tell us about how you take that scar tissue and turn it into this team's ability to elevate over and over again in this series.
Yeah, I think over the years you just learn that there's going to be highs and lows, and it's how you react to it along the way. And super happy with everyone, how hard we worked and how hard we battled. This series was amazing. Before the series, I think we came in really humble. We weren't playing well. These guys just beat us 7-0, so it was a big wake-up call to how hard it takes to even win a series in this league. So super proud of the guys, and a lot of work left to do here.
Go ahead, Rob.
Maybe sort of following up on that, from a Jets perspective, every time they tied it up, every time they got a big kill, their momentum was cut short by you guys fairly quickly, I would say. Is there something that you can characterize the playoff intensity of having that resilience to always take over when the moment comes?
I just think everyone's on the same page. A lot of similarities to the year we won. I think we just know everyone in that room is going to give everything they have, and that's the standard. And obviously, whether you score or don't, some of that stuff is out of your control, but you can control your effort and how hard you work. And we got everyone on the same page right now, battling, and whether we win or lose, we just want to go out swinging, and we had a great series in that sense.
Okay, go ahead, Corey.
For either of you, I think the fourth line had a really good shift right before you guys scored the first goal, and then obviously Yakov got one. Just sort of the depth contributions you guys got in the series.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think the way they, I would say all four lines, and especially bottom six is played. I think the momentum they create, like you said, like ozone face-offs, or second period we can change our line or the second line out there when they got the other team hemmed in. So I think they've been doing a really good job, and obviously big goal by Trent. So we were happy to see that too.
Go in the back, Jesse.
Mikko, Yakov told us that he was happy that he was proud of the fact that Georgia was able to shut up the haters after game one. Just what can you say about what Georgia did for you guys in that?
Yeah, it shows mental toughness from him. I think he was, obviously it's tough probably after the first game and frustration, but the way he reset and won 4 in a row for us, and there were some games when he was making those game savers, I would say, they were going up or tie the game, but he was out there and stopping the puck really well. So really happy for him and proud of him.
Evan?
It's either for either of you, but Casey Middlesex hadn't played a playoff game before this series, but how much has he changed what this team can do, his presence, and I guess the matchups that maybe you guys get on a nightly basis?
Yeah, I think he was super impressive. I mean, him and Lecky and Z were unreal this series, and just watching Mitzi, how hard he competes out there. I think a lot of people didn't expect that out of him, but man, he competed hard and made some great plays and had some great poise and looked like he's been there lots. So he's an awesome guy. Works really hard, and those guys, that whole line was great. They huge reason why we won the series. They're awesome.
Last one, was Sean.
Either of you who wants to take this to the points about your depth in this series, you kind of have a lot of guys on this team who didn't go to that cup with you and didn't experience that. And I'm wondering how you kind of get players who haven't been there. Who are the guys who do it? Who are the leaders who kind of get those guys up to the same pressure that you guys have experienced before and respond to it the way they did?
I think everyone does. I think all the new guys, when they come in, they understand what Bedsy wants out of us, what guys who've been here for a while want out of each other. Obviously, it's a high standard, but we have fun doing it. I think we have a lot of fun every day. But yeah, we do have a lot of guys still from that team, but like you said, a lot of new guys too. But it's not rocket science. I just think the biggest thing is just rolling with the punches. It's not going to be pretty. We're not going to have leads every night, and just to not break mentally ever and just keep pushing and pushing, because the momentum can switch at any time. Especially on the road, I think it's hard sometimes to play at home. A lot of pressure. You're supposed to kill teams, and so we know it's hard to hold leads. The year we won, we came back 10 or 11 times. So I just think, just knowing that, and that's kind of our key.
Good. All right, thanks, guys. Jared and Earl will be up next.
So there you are, the two superstars themselves talking about it. We don't have a whole lot more to add. The series is done. I'm sure we'll break down some of the details and actually start previewing their next series on tomorrow's show. So be sure to tune in to that one as well. We're going to keep doing the podcast even as the Avs wait for their second round opponent. So
I know what I want to take from Winnipeg.
Okay.
It is not from Winnipeg. It's from Manitoba.
Good enough.
I know what I want. All right. There's a town in Manitoba called Gimli. They host the Icelandic festival every year. It's rad as fuck. And in Gimli, right by the beach, is a giant statue of a Viking.
That's it. That's
it's
the one.
So rad. And I want to take it, and I want to give it to Landy, and I want it to infuse him with good health and fortune so he comes back and plays in the next round.
Very Viking of you.
That is what I want.
You heard it here first. We're wrapping up this show. We do have one more Dr. Dubs winner shots for you. Almost 500 likes. We appreciate y'all hanging out for us. More to come, and a bunch more playoffs to come. So we appreciate y'all. We will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. We appreciate y'all. And I've already said that, so goodbye.
Y'all silly like the mayor.